Our next author is Lynda Araoz, The Weight of a Feather, a mother's journey through the opiates addiction crisis. This chronicles the relationship between a mother and her son on his journey into the dark world of addiction, to his final recovery years later in this fresh look at the world of addiction and the enduring strength of a relationship. Welcome. How are you
so
doing?
nice to be here. Great, great.
What prompted you to go back and revisit such a dark period of your life? That is when your son was addicted to heroin.
Well, as you point out, this is the book that no mother ever wanted to write about having a son go through the opiate addiction or addiction to heroin. But, you know, it was interesting when he went into recovery. I took a few moments to catch my breath, of course, but then I began to realize it's not about me and it's not about my family, it's about all of us, because I knew there were millions and millions of other parents who were living the same nightmare that I had lived during that time. And in writing it, I wanted to reach back or reach out to them and say, you know, even in the most bleak of all situations, there is hope. And I wanted to let other parents know you're not alone. Other people have walked down that road, and you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Even, you know, there are moments when you question where this story is going to end.
Yeah. So aside from the story itself, are there specific points that you wanted to communicate to your readers?
Oh, absolutely. I wanted people to know that addiction is far bigger than the statistics that people read in newspapers and the media. 72,000 overdoses has become a number. You know, even though if you put it in a different way, it's as if it's a sports arena filled with people and they're suddenly all gone. But besides that, there are people, you know, millions and millions and millions of families who struggle with it year after year after year. And that's kind of the tragic thing, because it's not an illness that, you know, you go, you get treatment, it's over, and you move on. It's something that goes on and has relapses. So I wanted to point that out to people, and I wanted to give people a better sense of how it happens and what it looks like, and to in some way reduce the stigma that surrounds addiction in a way to help all of those people throughout the country who are suffering from it right now.
Right. What do you expect your readers to get out of reading the book?
I expect them to walk away from this with a fresh look at addiction. I expect them to look around and say, what can I do to help? If this is really all about us and not about just one family down the street here and someplace in another community, what's my role in it? And part of it is compassion. You know, we think about, there are times when floods and hurricanes flash across our screens, our computers or our television, and we're all moved with compassion. We say, oh, those lives have just been devastated. What can I do to help? And yet, in another way, it's kind of a hidden disaster, addiction, but it has that same devastation, and yet somehow it doesn't elicit that same compassion. So that's kind of a personal hope that I have. I started with kind of reaching out to other people who have gone through it, but I think my motivation is really a little bit more far-reaching than that at this point.
I like how you said that, a hidden disaster.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So for the viewers at home, how can they connect with you?
Well, I have a website, weightofafeather.com. I'm on social media, LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and I actually have a blog called Opiate Crisis Commentary, which kind of has as its logo, "We Must Do Better." So any of those, you can certainly find me.
Thank you so much for your time
Thank you.
today.
It's been great. Wonderful.